Yeah, that looks good. What's going on, everybody? You're in the right place if you're looking for a CrossFit weight vest review. You guys have been waiting a long time for it, and first of all, I want to say thank you for your patience. Thank you for being patient with me. It takes a long time to get a project like this done. You know, it's just me and Winston doing it, and between the two of us, he's not really good at computer work. Secondly, I want to say thank you to the companies that sent me vests. Without you guys sending me vests, there wouldn't be a weight vest review to do. So, without further ado, you guys have waited long enough. Let's get started, and I hope at the end of this, you say yes to the vest. But I'm actually a transcontinental hot air balloonist, like racer, essentially. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first test. This is the basic test. Basically, we are testing the functionality of the vest inside the gym and what we normally use it on a day in and day out basis, like pull-ups, bar muscle-ups, handstand walking, handstand push-ups, double unders, running, you name it, we're gonna test it. The goal is to find what vest I prefer in the gym using for just basic CrossFit vest movements. And then from there, we're gonna take it outside the box and use these vests in ways that probably aren't meant to be used, but is important if we're gonna find the absolute greatest CrossFit vest on the market. So, let's get started. My barn is a complete mess, and this is turning into more than a workout than I thought it was gonna be. So, yeah. So we finished up basic testing. To be honest, all the vests are pretty solid at the basic CrossFit movements. You know, we're talking pull-ups and all the stuff you just watched. Like, they're good at the movements. But I want to delve in a little bit deeper into what vests I kind of liked more than the others, maybe my reasons behind them. And then I want to get into the 511 tactical concept, as I'm kind of calling it, where there are a lot of vests out there that have sort of copied the 511 tactical vest. So I want to look into that and the differences that lie in between all those vests that kind of look really similar. And then I want to go into the different kind of vest, which is kind of the stretchy vest with the singular plates, and what might be some good uses for that vest, and the things I liked and didn't like about them. So let's get started. One of the first vests that stood out to me was the Bear Complex vest. They just released this like a month or two ago. It's a pretty solid vest. It's a good vest. The one difference I liked about it was the fact that instead of the Velcro straps from all the rest of these vests you're gonna see, this is the first vest I've seen with a quick release kind of metal insert, where I have the ability to insert this into the clip and it hooks, and then when I wanna get out, I have a quick release and I pull back on these silver little spikes and it pops out. So it's really nice to have like a quick release for that, like that, in a workout where I just want to take it off really fast. The other thing I liked about it was stretchy. These things are stretchy, and so they kind of forms around your body, which is pretty solid. One thing I didn't like about it that might become an issue is the fact that in the kind of the 511 tactical concept of vests, the plate is nested inside this vest pretty far and pretty deep, whereas Bear Complex went with like kind of a minimal vest, which isn't a bad idea, right? A minimal vest, ensures that the vest itself isn't very heavy, but The problem might come into the fact that the weight plate is actually really close to the seams on this vest. And so I don't know how many times you can drop this or how much wear and tear it'll take before the plate actually comes out of the vest. And honestly, we're probably gonna test that if you keep watching this video, so we're gonna find out. Cool. Next up is Train Like Fight, and their vest. One of the reasons I liked their vest was that it wasn't very long. Just like the Bear Complex vest, it's sort of minimal in the sense that if you look at the actual face of the vest, it's the size of the plate. Like, it's not much bigger than the plate, which is a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing is it's very minimal on your chest, and it only comes down to like right here on me. So I have the ability to breathe down here. And also when you do air squats, if you've ever had the kind of the crappy part where you do air squats in a weight vest and the vest would hit you down here in the hips, this isn't gonna happen because it sits so high up. So that's nice that it sits high up, but like I mentioned about the Bear Complex vest is the fact that the plate sits right here on this seam, and so there's not a whole lot stopping the plate from leaving your body and coming off the vest. And so how much wear and tear can this vest take before it rips there is, could be a disadvantage. We are definitely gonna find out. But all in all, solid vest, I like it, Train Like Fight. Fortify Strength out of Brazil. I think this is the one they use in the Brazil CrossFit Championships. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but good vest. You might be seeing a trend here, but another reason I like this vest was, again, the fact that it wasn't very long. It was very minimal, and that's one of the main reasons I liked it. It sat up a little bit higher, and so it didn't stop you in the middle of your air squats. It was minimal in that sense, and I kind of like the handle on the back. It had like a cool way of grabbing it. I don't know. Maybe if your buddy gets stuck, you could drag him out in the middle of a workout. Like if you get stuck in the middle of Fran dying, you could drag him out. I don't know. But anyways, good vest. The other thing I liked about it was that it was different here, right? You see a lot of the vests have like certain paddings. This one has kind of like, I don't even know. It's kind of like a sweat resistant kind of padding here. It's uniform across the surface, and I thought it was kind of cool. So solid vest. Again, we're gonna test it and see, since it is kind of minimal, if the weight plate will stay in there when it's drug around and shot at, and whatever else I'm gonna do to them. So that's Brazil or Fortify Strength. That's a good vest. Next up, one of the final vests that stood out for me during the basic testing was Invest Weight Vest. One thing I liked about it was the fact that the straps in the back actually stretch a little bit. They have the ability to stretch, and that was cool. So it wasn't like set in stone. It had the ability to stretch, which I thought was kind of cool if you wanted to breathe. So in the middle of a workout, if you've ever done a workout with a weight vest and you had to tighten it up a lot because you didn't want it to move, this allows you to tighten it up so it doesn't move, but if you want to, you can press it out manually and take a deep breath and breathe in really well. So that was kind of cool. I like that about the vest. The one thing I wasn't a huge fan was these sides here. It has these flaps on the side, and so I realized that's there to kind of protect your side and make sure you're not gonna scrape. But to be honest, when you put a weight vest on, it's not like I'm trying to protect my body too much. I can wear a shirt and that'll cover that, but still an awesome vest. And those are my 4 vests that really stood out for me in the basic testing that I liked and were different. And so now let's get into the 511 tactical concept. It's the idea that I believe there are a lot of vests in the CrossFit weight vest community that are very similar in nature. And to be honest, after trying all these on and putting the plates in them and adjusting them to fit me, they're all really similar. There might be a little bit difference here and there, but very minimal. And so really the only difference in these vests that I can really help you decide between them really comes down to cost. These costs I'm gonna give you are retail, and so it does not involve shipping at all. So if you live in the UK, for instance, you might consider buying a Bulldog gear because that's where they're from, and it might be cheaper for you than as opposed to buying a Bulldog gear and shipping it all the way to San Antonio, Texas. So just bear that in mind of where they come from, and I'm not including shipping. So let's get started. First things first is we have Tactical Fitness, which I believe is out of London, out of England. It values in at $125. And that also includes the plate inside of it. And I valued all these at a 20 pounds or 10 kilograms if it was in metric. So the next up is Sparta Performance. Sparta actually doesn't sell the plates on the website for the company. They just sell the vests. So I decided, okay, let's assume you buy the vest from Sparta and then you buy cheap weight vest plates from Rogue. It'll put you at $131 at the end of it, okay? Bulldog gear, again, international out of the United States, is $159. Morph Athletic comes in at $160. Next up is 511 Tactical and Fringe. Both 511 Tactical and Fringe are the most expensive. They value in at $240, and that also does come with plates. The last thing I want to talk about for my findings from the basic testing is a different kind of weight vest than you may be used to seeing. It's honestly one of the weight vests I first started out with a long time ago. Not necessarily one of these companies, but the concept of it. And that's the kind of stretchy fabric that has like the insertable like sand weights in them, or like metal fillings that you can take out or leave in, up to your discretion. And it's kind of form-fitting around your body. Both of these concepts aren't my most favorite vests. I don't use them all the time. I'm not a big fan of them. If they use them in the games, then I probably would practice with them more. I just don't practice with them because I don't really own one. But they're good vests, especially on a budget if you're looking for a weight vest. If you're looking at this company, Unbroken Design, this is a 40-pound weight vest and it retails at $110. So if you're looking for, you have a limited amount of budget, that's a pretty good deal right there for heavyweight vest. And you can change it from 40 to be less if you so choose. The next up is Northern Spirit. This one is 20 pounds. It's not 40, but it does retail at $200. The only difference in it than that one that I actually liked was the fact that it sat up a lot higher than that one. And it actually set up a lot higher than most weight vests. Set it about right here. And that was pretty nice when I had to do air squats in it. So, yeah. So, probably not one of the weight vests I would choose to use on a daily basis, but still not a bad solution for a weight vest option. And that covers it for basic testing. And for some of you, that's all you really cared about. You were just curious to see, what did Jacob Heppner think of these vests, and what did he think was the best vest for common CrossFit movements? Don't get me wrong, I appreciate you viewing it, watching it, and supporting me. At the same time though, a majority of you didn't really care about the basic testing. You were only curious to see what happens next. And for those of you who are sending me messages saying, hey Jacob, when you're done with some of these vests, can you send me one, or can you do a giveaway? Guys, the goal of this review is to absolutely destroy every single vest. And at the end of this, we're gonna see what's the absolute most durable, most bulletproof, most fireproof, most CrossFit-proof vest on the planet. So, to shorten that response, there won't be anything left for a giveaway. And so, our next test was so popular in the grip review, I decided to bring it back. We've got ourselves the drag test. Nothing says I'm the most durable vest on the planet by being drugged down a Kansas back road. Vest hunt. Winston and I got back and realized we were missing a couple pieces to a couple vests, and one of them was a couple plates, and that's important to keep those, so we gotta find those plates. Found one. Good old These Fists Fly. Found another one. Invest. Hey, come on. All right, we are done with the drag test, and unfortunately, we have to eliminate 2 vests in order to move forward. In order to find a clear and concise winner, we have to make some cuts. So, what are the 2 vests we are eliminating from this competition? Let's find out. The 2 lowest scoring vests are the vests that look the most tattered and torn up after being drugged for 10 miles down a Kansas gravel road. And those 2 vests are These Fists Fly, which actually, this is one piece. And then here's the other piece. And then Invest Fitness, which lost its plate, and I actually had to go back and find it. I also realized that some of you might think that dragging a weight vest across a Kansas gravel road isn't a good test of durability. I would completely and wholeheartedly disagree. This is the smash test. I'll be eliminating 3 vests out of the smash test. They're the 3 vests that fared the worst when they were smashed. Pretty obvious. Anyways, those 3 vests are both Unbroken Design and Northern Spirit will not be moving forward. Awesome vests, good product to buy, but at the same time, they have these like pouches of filling in them, and when you hit these with a mallet at full speed, they just explode. The final vest that will not be moving forward out of the smash test is Fortify vest out of Brazil. To clarify, it's a great vest, but the weight plate, which I didn't know this, isn't one singular plate. It's instead 3 smaller rectangular plates inside there, and when you hit them with a hammer at full speed, they tend to bend really easily. So if you're thinking to yourself, I want to wear this vest and go at it with a wrecking ball, I would not choose Fortify, I would not choose Unbroken Design, and I would not choose Northern Spirit. Other than that, they're great vests. But we're done, and now we're moving forward. Warning, not for use as body armor. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Ballistic test. If you've got Murph at noon, and you want to be John Wick by 1 o'clock, you gotta choose a good vest to do it. Real quickly, I want to caveat something. Don't try this at home. Please don't shoot the vest with people in it. Please don't try to rob a bank with this vest. And please don't think any of these vests will stop any sort of firearm in a firefight. Final caliber, the big boy. 6.5 Creedmoor. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, to make sure we're all on the same playing field, if a vest came with a weight plate or the company provided it for the vest, I got that plate in the vest, therefore I can use their plate in their vest to make it fair. If a vest did not come with a plate, I made sure that we used consistent plates across the board for those that didn't come with any, and we used pretty much the Rogue ones you would buy in 511 Tactical if you went on Rogue Fitness and purchased any kind of plate. Now let's get into the results of the Ballistic test. I will be eliminating 2 vests from this test that will not be moving forward. The 2 vests that I chose were the vests that were affected most by larger caliber munitions. So for instance, I started at a .380 pistol and then moved all the way up to a 6.5 Creedmoor. The 2 vests that I chose were the 2 vests that were affected the most by each 6.5 Creedmoor munition. The first vest I'll be eliminating is Morph Athletic. Great vest, it is just clearly incapable of stopping a 6.5 Creedmoor round like most of the other vests were able to. This was the front, I shot it from the front, and the 6.5 Creedmoor was actually able to go through the front vest, through the back vest, and penetrate all the way through. So, if you're looking to protect yourself, I would not use a Morph Athletic plate. It's probably just a little softer, a little more malleable, and wasn't able to stop our larger munition. The next vest I'll unfortunately be eliminating is Tactical Fitness. Tactical Fitness is mainly being eliminated because while a 6.5 Creedmoor round was not able to go all the way through the plate, it did just rip it apart pretty badly and put some large divots. These divots are a lot deeper and more noticeable than most other plates in other vests. So, Tactical Fitness will not be moving forward. It's still a great vest. It's just not a vest you'd want to use if you accidentally got into a firefight after Murph. This is the you happen to be doing Murph, and while you're running a few miles with your weight vest on, you see a burning house on fire. So you decide to be a hero and run inside and save everybody, but you want to make sure the weight vest you're wearing is flame retardant because you don't want to be burned. Test. Safety first, ladies and gentlemen. Safety first. Let's get rolling and let's see which vest is the most flame retardant. Alright guys, the verdict is in for the flame retardant test. I'm going to be eliminating 3 vests that won't be going forward, and those 3 vests are the ones that hold on to a flame the longest, or actually are honestly still holding on to a flame. And it's been honestly 5 minutes since I lit them on fire. So those 3 vests are Sparta Performance is still going somewhat strong. Morph Athletic is still going pretty strong. It's burned through pretty much most of it. And then honestly, Bear Complex is completely gone. It's actually pretty much just melted into my gravel. So if you run into a burning building and you have a weight vest on to save somebody, don't run in with a Morph Athletic, a Bear Complex, or Sparta Performance. Still, awesome vests, great vests, but not as flame retardant as the other 4 that are going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our final 4 vests that are going on to our last physical test before we move on to something a little bit different. So, I want to real briefly go through our final 4 vests that have made it this far and talk about each one of them. Let's get started. Train Like Fight. I love it for all the basic testing. It's made it this far. Can it be the winner of the whole thing? Fringe Sports. Awesome vest. Sort of like a 511 Tactical, but in and of itself, it's a good vest to purchase. One you probably didn't think was going to make it this far, but thank you, US Army, for this weight vest. Not the greatest for basic testing and for like pull-ups and handstand walking, but when it comes to durability, you can't beat it. Good old-fashioned 511 Tactical. You can't go wrong with it. It's perfect for everything you want to do. The only downside is it's a little bit expensive. For our final physical test, this is you're doing Murph and there happens to roll a random grenade out in the middle of your gym. Which vest do you feel more comfortable wearing, jumping on the grenade, knowing you're protected? So here's what I did. After blowing up each vest, I spent 5 minutes in the field trying to find specific pieces from that vest in order to put them in a pile and compare them to the other vests that were blown up. Well, I found one piece of 511 Tactical. We're looking for the rest of it. Now, if you look at this, we've got the US Army weight vest here, or US Army vest. We've got 511 Tactical, we've got Fringe, and we've got Train Like Fight. Now, if you obviously look at the piles, you know the US Army vest is built for this. This is its main purpose. And so it did very, very well. But if you look at the other vests, 511 Tactical, Fringe, and Train Like Fight, they're all very similar in piles. And because of that, to be honest, I'm not going to be eliminating a vest from this explosion test because they all did very well compared to what I thought they would do. And if I'm being honest, I'm actually really excited to see what happens in the next test. And so I'm going to push all these vests forward and we're not going to be eliminating a single one of them. This is it, the final test, what you've all been waiting for, the final stepping stone determining what's the greatest CrossFit vest on the planet. Now, right now, all the vests are completely tattered and broken and in shreds. So there's no more reason to do a physical test. So just like the great CrossFit grip dispute, we're gonna be focusing on the companies themselves and their customer service. Now, for the previous review I did, I emailed the companies and asked them if they would replace it because of all the torturous stuff my grips went through. But this time, we're gonna take it a little bit step further. We're gonna call these companies.
Thank you for calling Fringe Sport. Please hold for the next available.
This is Matt Sterner. Can I please speak to customer service, please?
How can I help you?
Oh, perfect. So my name is Matt, Matt Sterner, and this is probably gonna come across really different. You probably haven't heard of this, but you probably don't get very many of these, but I'm actually a transcontinental hot air balloonist, like racer, essentially. And I've...
We get plenty of that. Yeah.
You're kidding me, right?
No, of course I'm kidding. I've never even heard that. That's great.
Well, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm actually a professional hot air balloonist, and my balloon, this sounds really weird, it caught on fire and your vest was burned to a crisp. I was wondering if you guys had like a warranty on the vest of any kind concerning your vest being burned. But I'm a professional hot air balloonist like racer. I race transcontinental. Most people laugh at me. It's different, yeah. And so I recently purchased one of your guys' vests, and obviously the purpose of it was like to train in it, to prepare for the fact that I have to like stand up on my feet for long extended periods of time.
Yeah, well, more or less. I mean,
When I was prepping for my next race out of Napa, my actual balloon, because you know it's obviously powered by helium, caught on fire and your vest was burned.
Well, so we have to study the case because it's really, really strange.
If you can give me your email, I can go ahead and send you that. That way we can get it started.
Now, fire damage, I've never had that as an issue previously, but I could absolutely get that information for you if you send us a photo, you know, so we can verify that damage.
Sorry, yeah, my email is Matt, M-A-T-T, _ and then my last name Sterner, S-T-E-R-N-E-R, and then another _ and then Balloon Man, B-A-L-L-O-O-N-M-A-N, and then it's at yahoo.com.
Let us know and send some pictures, and we will try to do our best. Okay?
Thank you so much. The verdict is in. I'm gonna let you know what the greatest CrossFit vest on the planet finally is. I received a response back via the email I sent, considering all the companies asked for a picture and an email. I received a response back a little earlier ago from a company. They were very positive. They were glad that my health was intact, even though I had lost a balloon and their weight vest in a fire. It's pretty positive. They also let me know that they wanted to actually work with me in the future. They were interested to know how my routine worked using their vest, and they were interested to work with me in the future. So it's nice to know that Matt Sterner has a future in the sport if he continues to do well as a hot air balloon racer. But without further ado, I'd like to let you guys know what the greatest CrossFit vest on the planet is. Sort of anticlimactic, considering it looks like a pile of trash. Train Like Fight, out of Spain. As you guys might recall, Train Like Fight was actually one of my top 4 favorite vests after I finished the basic testing. So not only was it one of my top 4 favorite vests for just doing basic CrossFit movements, but on top of that, it's the most durable vest I found out of all of them. It survived being smashed, dragged, burned, blown up. You name it, it survived. On top of it, their customer service is pretty dang solid, considering, I didn't realize this, but their company's actually out of Spain. So when I emailed them and they responded back, I didn't think anything of it until I realized it was 2 in the morning in Spain. Some pretty solid customer service. So, if you guys are looking for a solid vest that's not only good at CrossFit movements, but it's also durable to last, I would recommend Train Like Fight. And if you're gonna say yes to a vest, I'd say that's your one. Now, I know I promised I was doing a giveaway, and we're still doing it. I'm giving away 2 vests from Train Like Fight, the vests that won this competition. They could be either a male or a female cut. So, how do you win these vests? Comment down below and let me know what is one test I should have put in this competition. It could be anything you can think of. Be as creative as possible. I'll pick the 2 best tests and be sending you guys a vest from the best company so far. Regardless of which vest you choose, I hope you found this video helpful in determining what vest might be a better fit for you, what vest characteristics might fit you better for your athletic goals. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and we'll catch you guys later. See ya!